Hello, welcome to a different stream today. So, I wanted to show you this crazy race I had yesterday in the Dave Gaming Nordschleife-Cup, round 1 in Gr.4. One of the craziest and wildest races I ever had on Gran Turismo. So, I didn't record the live footage, so we're going here with the replay I saved. But yeah, definitely fun, crazy conditions. And yeah, without any further ado, I think I'm gonna hit that play button and let's get this race going. So I started qualified in P4. I got the Aston Martin. There was a draw for the cars, and so this lovely little Aston Martin in Group 4. And so we had like lots of crazy settings in that lobby itself. We had tire wear times 6, fuel consumption times 6. Well, this was also like based on a random Wheel of Doom, whatever you will call it. So basically, the fuel would just last for around about 2 laps. Also the medium tires, just 2 laps at maximum. And then we had also the weather slots being randomized. And yeah, we will see some crazy weather happening later on. So yeah, we had a dry race start to that one. And so just trying to get into the rhythm a little bit. My Aston Martin teammate in P1 when qualified on pole position had a good start to this opening lap on the Gr.4 circuit. And then we had 2 Ferraris in P2 and P3 Dave, that's the German YouTuber and series organizer. And yeah, I'm currently in P4 here still, taking it easy on that opening lap to avoid the track limit penalties as usual and try to save some fuel and tires for those opening corners and yeah, slowly get into the rhythm. Because the cars we got were like drawn 10 minutes before the lobby, so also not really time to get familiar with those cars. By the end it was basically the same for all, and yeah, we had the 4 cars, they are breaking away early, didn't get to the other drivers early on, like just skimming through the grid a little bit to see what cars we're in. So we had 8 manufacturers, cars for every brand, and if the brand has multiple cars, you can choose the model you want to drive. In the Group 4, only MR or Airport cars were allowed to use those manufacturers, so that's why we see the Nissan Silvia, for example, being used for Nissan instead of that GTR. And yeah, and we have 60 drivers in the lobby, that's nice to see. So we have the Aston Martin and the Ferrari, we saw that. We also have the Mercedes AMG SLS, and then the Nissan Silvia, as I said, Toyota, the Supra, we have Porsche, Cayman in that mix, another AMG, another Supra, then we have Lexus RCF. What else do we have in lobby? We have McLaren's here at the bottom of the grid for now, so those are the 16 cars, the 8 brands, and yeah, for those first couple of kilometers, to be honest, it was looking like we have a 4-way battle maybe for that victory. You also see like it was 7 laps in total, and we started in the afternoon, had I think ×1 time progression, so not too bad after all with that. But yeah, we will see in a couple of minutes how this race, like, it's really crazy, and it's very, very interesting. So I really, really enjoyed it. You see some nice driving here, also a very German affair by the looks. Yeah, Dave Gaming is a big German YouTuber who's mainly focusing on F1 and Gran Turismo games, but also does a lot of other stuff, sim racing. So I'll send the link in the description when this video is uploaded to YouTube for his point of view from that race. So if you understand German, it's well worth a watch. So approaching the carousel for the first time, you still see all good. We have mediums and hard tires being used, so the softs are basically useless because you just could get 1 lap out of them. So that's why the drivers opted to go for mainly the medium tires, or some hard tires as well. Yeah, for the layout, you see it's the 24-hour layout here at Nürburgring Nordschleife with the GP track and a complete northern loop attached to it, and some lovely liveries. We had one disconnect, unfortunately, early on in that race. It was definitely looking to be like a 4-car battle with, I think, also Emre here in the lead after really pushing the throttle on that GP track now. I think started to fuel take a little bit. So I basically had to run fuel map 2 and short shift that Aston Martin to don't risk the fuel getting too low. So I'm not sure about Emirates or what his approach was. He was definitely going very quick, but then it started to come together. At this point we were basically separated by, I don't know, 2.5 seconds, the top 4. Nearly the first lap completed. So we see Emre with a little mistake coming out of driving drop, loses that lead, and the 2 Ferrari drivers, they were bump drafting each other down the Dattinger. Now doing the teamwork. I had a bit of a hard time to catch up with them without the maximum power of the car at that stage, with the fuel saving involved. Still roughly a second. It looked very promising at this stage. Yeah, so far I think a clean opening lap, and with the tires and the fuel, you see that Dave in the Ferrari can save quite some fuel. without much effort needed. Polski in P1 using more fuel at this stage, and yeah, it was kind of looking okay for me. And also again tackling the GP track or the second round, but yeah, you can see the tires with the wear, with those high multipliers and the fuel as well, so it wasn't a flat out race. Emre in P4, the fuel also, hey, actually saved quite some fuel there on the Nordschleife, by the looks, after opening up that gap early for the race. So that we are bunching up together. Michael Schumacher is I think at this point Dave was already fuel saving and didn't know him. Like maybe he had a bad exit, so I bump draft him. Felt safer at this stage to just stay behind. Still look out for the tires and the fuel. But this also gave Emre a chance to catch up with us. We're like a couple of seconds away, and also like with great fuel saving. Little gap opened up to Polski FIFA at this stage. Also, they were running on the hard tires, interestingly. So we showed some good pace with the hard tires compared to the medium runners, and yeah, you could already see the darker clouds now coming towards the track, and there was some light rain scheduled at, I don't know, maybe the 20-minute mark. And for now it was all dry and still no real drama. Tires okay, fuel, see difference. Also with Emre now using up some fuel to get closer to the top 3 again. And I felt like after half an hour pause up to Nordschleife, I had a really good run. We carried some good momentum, good speed in that Aston Martin, so it was also quite a while for me since I drove that Aston Martin V8 Gr.4, but it actually felt quite stable, not that understeery on FR car. He had a really good run through miss hit miss and was getting closer to Dave once again, but then there was Emre like approaching in the distance, and he closed that 3-second gap midway through this one. Dante Ferris and Emre now with a massive run out of X unit. Oh, a bit surprised to see like what is going on now, but I was still like, yeah, have a look after those tires don't be too aggressive with the fuel. And you see now as well the top two are actually fuel saving here. The run up to Nordschleife-Cup. It got really close again between the top four. Emre was looking, was the possibility to go for a move. Briefly showed his nose, but then decided to back out, and then we were like separated by a second, the top four at this stage coming through. Nordschleife again, taking it very easy, not pushing too hard, and you can see the lights on the cars now, and it's getting darker in this lobby, and I still felt comfortable. Also, the fuel was under control. Felt like I was warmed up again, and you see Polski with a little wiggle coming out of the carousel, which gave Dave the run, and then Polski on the outside, Emre on the inside, and then there was a bit of contact going into Gr.4. But what I saved Polski, I was like, whoa, he's a gunner, but somehow he managed to control the car. Good reaction, good catch, and so it was like, yeah, okay, P3, I'll take it. Still have the slipstream, and have a look at those tires. Dave looking good. Emre was pushing here also with the fuel. Now getting towards the front of the grid. Now after that little off track we had at Gr.4, but we are back with the four cars like really close now, and with the fuel, everyone had to go into the pits then the end of this lap. But again, it is like really close here between the four of us. Yeah, intense close racing here around the Nordschleife track. It was really nice. So now you will see the famous slipstreaming effect happening on the Gr.4, and I was a bit surprised what will happen next. But let's have a look from my point of view. Gr.4 with more tires was like he had to do a little lift, and then I saw Emre like bumping Dave, and I'm really revving the nuts. I knew like I could go easily to the end, and then suddenly I had that massive run. It was like, what's going on now? So I had to go for the movement. It wasn't like really that I wanted to do it, but suddenly I was leading, and okay, so here we go. The fuel. Okay, so I knew like, okay, I could push a little more than with how I used the fuel with the fuel map and the gear shift so far. It's okay, so into the bits now, and there was a little bit of rain on the radar now coming towards the track, but it was predicted like to be light rain and not too heavy. So yeah. Decision time now, what to do, and now we will see the interesting part happening with the split. So it was too dry to go onto the intermediates at this stage. We had Kaya who went for an overcut. The fuel safe hard tires, tried to get 3 laps out of this car. I went on to the soft tires, was like, yeah, let's risk it 1 lap, and then if the heavier rain comes, I will be prepared. We see Dave Emre and Polski all went on to the medium tires and basically did a 100% refuel. So we had different ideas about how this weather would actually play into our hands. So Kaya wasn't fighting me at this stage with his hard tires, also had to fuel save. Okay, so soft tires was like my push. And now those clouds were coming closer with the rain, and also like there wasn't just light rain with this clouds coming, it was actually really heavy rain for a brief moment. So, but there was no turning back now from this stage. As I said, going on to the intermediates now, they would have been like dead coming onto the Nordschleife now, because it's not wet yet. So, but I felt like, yeah, good decision. Soft tires probably have more grip than the mediums when it like starts raining. So those three took it a bit easier with the medium tires, and Kaya on those warm hard tires. Also interesting to see how those tires will perform when it will get wet on the track. You see him struggling a little bit. That definitely helped me to open up that gap, 3-4 seconds at that stage. So everything went well. The first part still very good. Try. So Flugplatz, no drama at all. We are approaching then Schwedenkreuz and Arenberg. Still no rain on the track, and you see Kaya, and they are just starting to turn on their windshield wiper. So now you see the rain is falling, and it was the light rain for now. So it's still like the track now slightly getting wetter and wetter. Still okay. So could basically still drive like it was dry, but on that radar, that rain, it got like, I don't know if you know the weather radar. So from light blue into the purple and some green and a bit of yellow as well. It was like, this might get tricky now. Still on the track, it felt okay through this part. Now Gr.4 had missed for the first time. I really was a bit afraid because that ball was creeping up towards that first indicator, and now we are just above. So again, taking it easy for the braking downhill to Wehrsifen. Still managed to keep that car very stable. I think 5 seconds roughly at that stage. Kaya struggling a bit, also had to fuel save, but you can probably see and hear now the rain is increasing, and now we are above that first bar, and now it's tricky. So suddenly, like heavy rain approach for Niki Lauda, King, and now for Bergwerk, and you see me, puddle. No damage, just a little bit of it off the track. It was like the first alarm signal for me. This isn't going to go very well. And now the radio, you see puddles on the road. We are basically now in heavy wet conditions. I cranked up the traction control. managed to come through the uphill run through Passagen and approaching Gr.4. You see the bar, it is blue above the target, then oop, it went, the rear just went, so big F for me. Like my strategy, I was like, damn, that was pain. Then again, once you spin on slick tires, it's not that easy to get that car going. Okay, so head down, I think now keep it clean. Dave with some great skills there in heavy wet conditions on those mediums. Emre and Polski also like not really struggling that much. And I was like, yeah, I can't afford to lose more time. Ooh, again, that carousel spat me out. But that highlight is not too bad in those heavy wet conditions. Okay, so kept pushing. Dave with an amazing run on those conditions. Kept it very stable in his Ferrari. And yeah, then approaching Gr.4. Oh, the rear went again for me. No, but just a little 360. No damage. But here come the next drivers, and I was losing touch more and more towards that lead group. Dave, Emre, and Polski were like, okay, whoa, Polski didn't realize that the big slide damage, but I think something similar gonna happen to me. Whoa, yeah, basically the same spot again, a 360 with some damage, and I was like, no way, what's happening? That's not good. That's not good. And it went from bad to worse, and again very slow out of YouTube corner. But I don't know why the car sped once again. So, whoopsie, lost 2 positions again, so down to P6 behind Kaya, who was like fuel saving to the max and had that hard tires. So it's like, oh, that's not good at all. That gap was to Emre, I think roughly 20 seconds at this stage. Luckily, the rain eased off, felt a bit more comfortable again. Whoa, we see someone spinning there. Oh, thank God for ghosting. But okay, gained another position. Kaya went deep. Not the best run as well. We all still struggled there with the wet patches on worn tires. To be fair, my mediums didn't look too bad, my softs, compared to Kaya's hard tires. It is, but then I felt like I had the run, but went on the inside, so I had to wait again for the back straight. But anyway, again a good run out of Gr.4 and then better exit. And thought I can afford going onto the wet bits for an overtake, and had a good run. And Kaya still fuel saving like crazy, so P4, yeah, that's damage limitation. So I hadn't put in the fuel to go for another lap. So was that my idea? Yeah, the heavy rain would come now, so that didn't go to plan at all. So I had to pit this lap and had a big troop of cars right behind, and then the Hohenrhein-Schikane again. Whoa! That was spin number 4 and a massive one again, so P9, P10, I don't know. I'm gonna end up, yeah, P10. And then Pitzer was like, oh no, My race is gone now. You see the leaders. They're already on the GP track. I'm still sitting in the pits, so they managed to survive in those conditions. We saw Polski had an off, and Dave also had a slide off track, probably Emre as well, but probably not as bad as my lap in those conditions went. So, you know, still tricky conditions now. We see the racing line, it's dry, but on the edges it is still very, very wet, and so cannot really afford to go wide in here. So Kaya P11, and yeah, back out on mediums now. It was like, yeah, now hopefully it stays dry for the next 2 laps, so roughly 20 minutes. But yeah, from P1 to P12. Cars in front. Also we see some fresh mediums and a bit less fuel, so different strategies are going. Oh, we see another yellow flag. Someone must have spun on the track in here. Who's that? But yeah, again, those mixed conditions, those rain conditions, they really notch up the grid, and they make up for some great racing as usual. So we see like 5 cars within 1.5 to 2 seconds roughly, and we see Kaya with a good run. I caught up with Burnson on that the GP track, but couldn't go for the move. And still you see the wet patches on the track. It's already a very narrow track. Nordschleife going side by side is not advisable. So again, patience is your friend. Hatzenbach also wasn't sure about turn curbs or not, but you could see that track was trying. And he could actually push again. But that gap to the leaders, like they are a 2-second penalty. They're just approaching Schwedenkreuz. Whoa, Polski with a big off sideways, lost some momentum. Dave, and look at that group of cars, like now really catching. This was the crazy part, like suddenly everyone was close. Oh, Iramaki with an off track, but good recovery. I couldn't keep up with that Sylvia through that hard, or wasn't confident enough, or again wide for me at Arenberg. Felt like that gap was coming down to the leaders, so it's bunching up. Now really not sure if the leaders were fuel saving, or yeah, some off tracks, some mistakes and penalties. 2 seconds for Emre, a second for Polski, Dave. And we look at this now, how close it is again between the cars. P4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like suddenly there, Kaya in P9 also like this. Suddenly with that group. And also us 3 were like closing that gap. So probably with every car that track got drier, we could push more and more. And someone went off. Essex P114. So gain another position. P10 still behind Burleson at that point. And then we are approaching Nordschleife, and suddenly we are back with the group. Like what the hell happened just? Like that was. So look at that group of cars now suddenly. So everyone, you know, so close. Polski is pushing Emre as well, but then Dave and the rest Kaya already up to P5, and this was crazy. So I lost the position into Bergwerk. It was a great move. Michi went past me. Again, slipstreaming uphill. Yellow-black situation somewhat spawned again. Crazy scenes. Now we are coming out of Bergwerk, so I was a bit too early, so I lost a little bit of time through miss and Nordschleife. But yeah, still like it was suddenly that close, slipstreaming all the way. I could see P3 quarter podium again, and my hopes went up. Like, okay, maybe it isn't too bad. Now, hopefully, it'll stay dry for a little bit longer to actually benefit from me now having one extra lap of fuel compared to most of the other drivers. Whoa, someone! Oh, that was close. Nearly taken out. Didn't see that during the race. So, oops, that was close. Yeah, but now with the track being dry, suddenly the pace also picked up from the leaders. So they were pushing like crazy. Look at that. Where's Polski like opening up a gap? I got 3-4 seconds already to Emre. Has to serve a 2-second penalty on that back straight, and will be paying Dave and Kaya 3 and 4. And Kaya on the same strategy with 3 laps and now going for probably 2 on the mediums. Whoa, someone went a bit too hot at AMG at SLS. Yeah, and I was still stuck behind that Sylvia for the entire lap, and I lost time again. Still see it is still wet at the edges. I have to be careful, and that SLS from being off track to E7, the party at Landskat was also really scary. And they went side by side in contact. Woo! Again, don't push too much here. Try to survive somehow, wait for the straight maybe. And I knew like everyone around me, they were on their final lap of that stint. So just try and stay with them, use the slip a little bit. Then AMG and Sylvia had a good run out of Gr.4. I was close, but then I was hoping for a little bit of bump after going on, but instead everyone decided to, nah, let's just go for a different lane, and again I lost some positions down to P10 or Little Aston. And look at this, 6 cars, Tiergarten, and up to the Hohenrhein chicane again, and yellow flag, someone lost it. Whoa, a big spin in front of me, but I took it easy. I knew like they would be pitting now, so again I had a clear track ahead of me. Everyone else was pitting now except for Kaya, who had a great lap. So I think we were separated by 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds after the pit stop on that lap. And look at that gap. Oh, that's 13, 14 seconds at that stage. And then the next drivers, okay, before Ralf and Uli, they stayed out. No, they didn't change tires. That is interesting. Refueled, but didn't change tires. And we see the leaders, Dave, Emre, and Polski, have a little bit of a gap now. So we are still like a bit of out of sync with the pit stops and the fuel. So they were hoping for 2 laps in dry conditions. My hope was that it will start to rain at the end of this lap, so I could pit and go for the wet tires. It would be like perfect, so that my extra pit stop on those soft with those spins could probably not be the end to fight for a podium. So Kaya still managing that gap, 12-13 seconds at this stage. Also Dave was pushing behind me. Let's have a look. Emre and Polski, former leaders. The other drivers still in nice little battles. Here they were. This was the group I was in on that Pettinger Höhe, and they're trying to catch up with the rest of that grid. So a little bit of a gap for S16 or 14 at this stage, and so far it was still looking okay for all of us. You see like the cloud cover is getting thicker, and we see some darker clouds as well on the horizon, and this could only mean one thing: rain is approaching. And this was then the really heavy rain now for the next slot. So the hope was again to make it round for most of the Nordschleife in those dry conditions. I think the gap now still 11 seconds-ish at that stage. I gained a little bit on Kaya. Dave was also like 12, 13, 14 seconds behind me. And once I spotted like now the rain is approaching, I was like, yeah, so the drivers behind me, they can't really go for that second lap. Yeah, they have the advantage with the fuel. Don't need to refuel that much. But if I can maintain that gap to Dave in P3, it should be fine. fine. It should be fine. We'll have a look at Kaya, and he will be the first driver then to see the rain on the track. I think it was approaching from the northern side. I think when Kaya arrives at the carousel, the first drops of the rain should appear. We still try through Kesselchen and up to Gr.4. Oh, a little bit of a mistake. Okay, that's where I gained 2-3 seconds on Kaya. So first a little mistake. Tires don't look that bad, to be honest. Maybe just missed that turning point for Gr.4 and went a little bit too wide. Said hello to Barry, and now carousel, and now I think the rain should arrive. Okay, yeah, you see now windshield wipers starting to run again, and they've pitted approaching the carousel. Wipperman still okay, the track not that wet, the curbs, yes, still wet, and I think if I can remember it correctly from the stream, then there's another little mistake happening coming out of München. Oh yeah, whoa, that was big moment. Good catch though to avoid the complete spin, but all that gap was gone now. Also you see Kaya with some damage. It was like within 2 seconds now, and it's creeping up again on the track. The rain hit a bit earlier than expected. It was like still, yeah, just need to survive. Basically, Pflanzgarten and Schwalbenschwanz, and had a good run. Kaya struggling. Again, tried to show my nose for Kaya into mistake. No, kept it on the track. But now again, heavy rain conditions and extra Schwalbenschwanz mini carousel. You see Kaya understeers, and that's me again into the lead. Wow. Well, I didn't expect that after being 12th on that thing. Oh, Kaya, Tokyo Drift style. Geigenkopf. It's also like not easy in those conditions. Kaya with a good run. Then again, whoa, struggles big time on through the dirty door. I had a good run then, but then I wasn't sure at this stage. Can I keep it flat, like it's now above the second bar again, and any steering input would probably spin that car again. I think I cranked up the TC up to 5, and now I started to go half throttle through this bit, not risking anything. You see crazy conditions again on that, the end of the Bettingerhöhe into Hohenheim. Very slow here, but you see Kaya is catching and a bit too cautious. But again, I learned my lessons from that crazy lap and into the pits, and so does everyone else. Kaya not too far behind Dave. Still like, I don't know, 12, 13 seconds, maybe a bit more at this stage. And Kaya and Polski, the the lead crew, but they also got probably worse conditions on that final bit of the lap. So basically the worst part for me was the straight. So Kaya jumped me in the pits because of the fuel. Again, well, underfueled by quite a bit. So I wanted to definitely undercut me and be first. Easy Dave. Also to the max. Fueled. Kaya with another 1 second penalty. And so still like, I don't know, intermediates. Michi staying out on the mediums. That's a risky move. We see Yuli on intermediates. And the Sylvia Norman on mediums. So we'll keep that in mind. So Norman on mediums. Kaya was still in the lead. And I was still like following Kaya. I felt okay with staying behind. You see like how is the track. I can react to some of the changes on the track. It's easier to have a car in front. Judge those conditions. I felt okay with that approach. Also could save some fuel. The rain would ease up towards the end of the race, and I was hoping so I can push on the final lap more. So it felt good. Dave was really flying in those conditions. Gained I think every sector a couple of tenths. Emre also not too far behind, and we see Yuli, and we now see the first runners on medium. So there's clearly a dry racing line now, so you don't really fight and go off track. So Norman in P9 on intermediates. Kaya myself like making it again easy, not pushing too hard. Dave and Emre, let's see, side by side into Schwedenkreuz. Then I think Emre is backing out, yeah. But both were catching, and I felt like there was some trickery going on. They were really chipping away those tenths, and sometimes within half a minute, a second through some of those sectors. So really intense for me. I had an eye on that delta, and also an eye, of course, on Kaya and the track, how it evolved. But here you can clearly see Dave. I don't know, less than 7 seconds at this stage. Also Polski also flying to get closer to Emre and Dave, and you can see now towards Quersiphon. Let's have a look. It's 1, 2, 2.5, less than 3 seconds. At the stage I was like, what's going on? Why are they suddenly that quick? That's insane. So, and didn't feel like we were going that slow. Then we see like suddenly, boom, the top 4 are back, and also Polski and that blue Ferrari Gr.4. So heading into Bergwerk. So Dave is within the slipstream range. Emre is here, and also Polski. Like, look at his perspective. So in just 2.5 to 3 seconds, that gap, and now we have maybe 5 cars fighting for the win again. See, very easy, smooth through Nordschleife, and Polski gained. Definitely. Oh boy, it was close now. See the blue Ferrari also catching up with the pack, but it's a 4 again, fighting for that victory carousel. Kaya not with the best exit, but then again, cannot really go for a move. Yeah. Bunching up, it's bunching up. Whoa, that was a bit wide here. Hohe 8. A little bit of a code round moment. I was like, no, don't spin now, It's such a great race now, a good fight. I can definitely go for a podium now, being in this group. Down towards München again, and you see that blue Ferrari, so it's 5 of us again fighting. But Polski shredded the tires. What happened? Look at those intermediates. Didn't realize that. Emre's tires looking good. Dave made a great move around the outside here on Marcel and Ice Probe. Marcel was like, yeah, it's okay, I have the slipstream, it is all good. Suddenly Emre was beside me. Landsgarten 2, Stefan Millerfest, but I was like, oh, again, those curbs, the grass. I felt the pressure, definitely. Luckily, Emre didn't go for the move. But yeah, see top 5 so close to each other, and Dave and Kaya, they were trying to pull away now. And crucial, the long right hand of Gr.4. I felt the pressure. I didn't know that Emre had a penalty, and then boom, he lost it. Also, as Kaya suddenly went slow at a poor exit, going out of the Gr.4, so I had the run. I needed to stay with Dave now. Luckily, my medium tires were looking quite good, so compared to the Ferrari, I could save a little bit of tires, and the gap opened up to Kaya and Polski and Emre. So those 3, but Polski's tires are toast, so not sure, are they pitting? this lap were staying out, or they decided to stay out with times 6 tire wear. Look at that, and that Sylvia P6 still on that nudging away, but medium still looking good, and it's just one more lap to go. And now we will go on to that final lap now out of the first chicane onto the GP loop again. So I wanted to stay with Dave at any cost, don't let him run away, Kaya. There was a gap already. I was like, yeah, I don't have to worry about them. Hopefully they can defend from Emre, and then Polski, no tires, and still has to do the entire Nordschleife and the rest of the GP loop, so that's probably not going to end well. A little bit of rain started to drop, but it wasn't that much, so basically just a little bit of a sprinkle. There was hope for a brief moment that it could save the intermediate tires. I just saw a side-by-side action between Kaya and Emre, with Kaya's tires looking way better than Emre at this stage. And then I started to realize Dave was struggling already with the car. He was looking for the wet patches everywhere, tried to cool the tires. Still not sure if this is something you need to do on Gran Turismo. I didn't bother with it, just kept driving, and still I had the tire advantage at this stage. Look at Dave's tires, 60% down. I'm still roughly 30 to 40%, and now this is where it's got like pretty obvious for me that Dave was, his tires were going, and there's still so much time. Like no need to risk anything. I still try to stay close, and those faster turns, they're killing them tires. Look at Dave now. This is 80% within a minute, dropping rapidly, and he's going for those weird lines, like searching the wet bits, braking for Arenberg, like really narrow and tight. It's also like not carrying the speed down Fuchsröhre, and this was now the time where I was like, yeah, I need to make it happen. Tried to look down the inside for Adenauer course, but no, thought better of it, but felt like it's happening rather soon, not than later. And you see Dave made that mistake coming out of Adenauer course, so I go side by side here, heading towards Metzgesfeld. No, didn't have the run, but Dave goes a bit wide again, opening up that corner, and now goes on the wide line, and I took that opportunity now and was like, yeah, that's my chance. Dave's tires are basically done. At this stage, Kaya, okay, Emre's tires are gone. Polski still driving on completely red tires, and Norman's still in P6, but he's definitely getting closer. You see him catching up with Polski. So my gap started to open up. Dave unable to turn the car, trying everything to make them tires last for a little bit longer. Kaya also, this front left not looking that good. I think I had still like the best tire wear out of this front group on the intermediates, but it was difficult now with the fronts being dead. Turn-in wasn't good. I think a little mistake happening. Note was okay with this turn, just went very slow out of Bergwerk, and Dave and Kaya now trying to survive somehow. We see Emre on their tires. Here's Norman, P5, Polski, sitting duck, no chance at all. That car wouldn't turn at all. So look, I'm gone now. Let's have a look. Gr.4, also probably quite slow, but safe. Better safe than sorry. Dave and Kaya Emre. Dead tires. Let's see how that turn goes. Close the tire. It's okay. Norman is pushing and closing that gap. Definitely. Marcel can steady still a little bit of tires left, but Dave's tires are gone. Kaya's tires are gone. Kaya with a mistake got damage and spat out of that carousel. Emre again close, but also on their tires, and Norman approaching the carousel. So now tires are officially gone. The front left, basically nothing left now. Boom, it's completely gone now as well. So every right-hand turn will be a pain, and close on the edge at this stage. Coming down towards München. Also the front right is dead, so that car didn't want to turn. Dave the same basically, but has front and rear gone. Kaya under pressure. Emre is close, and Norman with a great run to catch up with the rest of us. So 6 seconds roughly the gap to Dave for me, and it looked good. Dave was struggling with the tires. Kaya and Emre, they're struggling with the car, and here comes Norman up to P4 already. Can Kaya hold on to that podium? Dave still looking okay to stay in P2, but look at the tires, completely gone now. The rear still have a little bit of tire life remaining, but it's of the fronts that are killing the turn-in, and so very, very slow through Schwalbenschwanz into mini carousel. Dave also very, very slow, and Norman with his mediums, great tire wear, and also the fuel should be okay. So Norman is like flying through the strip on this final lap. A bold decision with that move to go on with the mediums through Galgenkopf, and nothing Dave can do about it. So at this stage it was, I don't know, 3.5 seconds to gap to Spencer on that long straight, and I was hoping, I was praying. So yeah, fuel shouldn't be an issue. I could use up the fuel, could rev the car. It was okay, but there was still one final chicane remaining, and Norman was flying with the purple on that one. So braking for Hohenrhein, and again really, really careful, and somehow I managed to stay in front, and crossing that line, I finished that wild race in P1. Norman Spencer with the purple. What a strategy call. Dave in P3 and Kaya low on fuel with the damage on that final lap, but probably he'd stay in 4th position. Yeah, just Emre as well. Red everywhere, but crazy race. And then we have the medium tire runners, and also look at Polski, who was leading at some point, went for dead tires for the final lap. That didn't really help, so low on fuel for Michi, but he will finish in P6, and Mira Maki softs for the final lap, and Polski just made it for the top 8. So yeah, what a crazy race it was. GG to everyone. Except with those multipliers and weather conditions, and it was such an up and down race. The drivers running out of fuel, some big gaps. Whoa, just see this boy with some. No, but yeah, lovely Aston Martin to drive. So really enjoyed that race, and I'm looking forward for the next round of the Nordschleife-Cup. Not sure when. There's not a fixed schedule, but I hope I can make it for the next round. Thank you all for watching, and see you again soon. Bye.